Hello people, I am Sky Demolisher and welcome back for another From the Collection Fridays, a series where I take things from my collection and show it to you, my viewers. And this week it is my Transformers Siege War for Cybertron trilogy, Roadhandler and Swindler. So basically these are like Micromasters or Battle Masters, although I think in this case they really are just Micromasters. They come in a 2-pack. So you get these two. I do have another set who I can't remember the name of at the moment, but they're basically these two vehicles again, but different coloured, and they're Decepticons. So one of these is very much sort of, I think, like the Bumblebee Chimera, which is this one, and that one, you have to admit, it looks a lot like a DeLorean. Now, because these are like Micromasters, they are not particularly large figures. I mean, that's my pinky, and basically, you know, it's the size of my pinky. Or the length of my pinky, I should say. Not the size of. Pinky's a bit bigger than that. Sorry, Transformers is bigger than that. So, they do actually have a bit of articulation. You can combine them to make them into like a weapon sort of thing. I'm not going to do that because I don't see the point. So, have to get it off camera at this time because this guy can actually be very, very tight in his arm. There we go. So pop the hood down. You can actually see at the back here, not really, obviously it's blurry as shit. Bring it back. You can see the handle there, so you can turn them into a gun, a weapon. Basically the arms do come on like little ball joints, so they've got a little bit more articulation than the original Micromasters, which were virtually not really articulated at all, and you do get a waist swivel. There's like knee articulation to these guys, and separated legs. Whereas, you know, if you grew up with the originals, you probably remember they often had like fixed you know, yeah, fixed legs. Now, we'll say that they are very prone to, you know, pulling off the ball joints, which really isn't a bad thing, you know. At least it stops them from breaking, and that's always a handy aspect. The balls themselves are all very tight, so you do get the waist articulation there, and the articulation up at the shoulders. I don't think the heads of these guys were articulated, but the legs are. And I think having legs that actually split apart really helps them. So you can sort of see their faces there and how they pose. They are actually quite nice figures. Now, I can't remember the price the warehouse has them, but the warehouse has like 2 different sets. So some I think are around the $12 mark, so you get 2 for $12, and others are at like the $20 mark. I've always tried to buy the ones that are the cheaper ones, and then of course you can get like Battle Masters that I think are about $8 or $9. Single figure turns into, you know, a weapon or a shield or whatever. But these are very much like a nostalgia thing for me, because as a kid I owned a few Micromasters, not very many, but I owned a few of them. And of course back then most of them came in sets of 4. So The sets that came with like 2 tended to be ones that joined together, and they'd form like a space shuttle or a plane or whatever. But most of these guys in the original G1 setting came out in like sets of 4, and they were like the off-road patrol and things like that. So these are actually quite cool when it comes to just being like small Transformers. Now, of course, you know I shoot most of these in succession. So that is that Lego building. Well, not Lego, but Play Studio Lego style building that I had the other week. So as you can see, like these guys scale fairly well as robots to this. So they'd be like slightly bigger than a human sort of thing. But I think they're roughly... Yeah, not roughly. They are larger than a headmaster, and a headmaster would roughly be the same size as a human. So the buildings are sort of headmaster size for scale of people, and these guys are like slightly bigger than, bigger than a headmaster, so maybe twice the size of a human to some degree. I don't know. They're very nice little figures though. So I won't do the Decepticon ones from this because basically you're looking at the exact same figures but different coloured, and they really do look exactly the same because they are just repaints of the same things but Decepticons, and I can't remember their names. I think one of them might have been called Big Daddy. But Big Daddy might have been another Transformer. We all know that there are Transformers that have weird names like Big Daddy and Erector. Things like that. Yeah. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, take care of yourselves. Bye.